Today, I'm here to inform you about the strange and eerie hidden secrets amongst all national parks. In June of 2023, the New York Post stated that at least 1,180 people were not only reported missing from U.S. national parks, but were never found since the year of 2018. First of all, I will go over the history of the national parks and the cold cases surrounding them. Secondly, I will inform you about the main theory behind these cases and why it is so strange with the evidence to back it up. And lastly, I will cover up why this is so scary and how you can stay safe in these parks yourselves. First off, I'm going to cover the history and the start of these disappearances in national parks. The national parks hold a very long history and hold the greatest landscapes within the states. The U.S. national parks were put in order by President Theodore Roosevelt to preserve and protect the country's natural beauty. Over the years, the system has grown to 63 national parks expanding across the entire country. The NPR, March 6, 2023, told us that these pristine and dense parks receive 312 million visitors every year, and that number is only increasing. These parks in total cover over 84 million acres across the entire country, with the majority of that land being backcountry, which means they're not inhabited by residents or park centers. Cold cases, also known as disappearances, that have yet to be explained, started as early as the 1930s in these parks. Since then, more and more cold cases rapidly arose, leaving everyone so concerned about what is happening in these parks. According to News Nation, June 16, 2023, one of the first cold cases in national parks was actually a park ranger. And he was someone who knew the park like the back of his hand and knew how to survive in nature, yet he has been missing for over 5 decades. Following him, more cases including Dennis Martin kept coming and have not stopped. Now that we are caught up, I'll take us deeper into this problem. Many unfortunate deaths occur in these parks due to how dangerous the terrain is, but that is not for fault here. These are cold cases. No bodies were found. As national parks can be dangerous themselves due to the terrain, and there are many recent casualties for this, there are so many cold cases where the terrain cannot be used as an excuse. These random disappearances are so unexplainable that the main theory behind it is that there are feral people living in these parks. How else would you explain such a disappearance like this? KTLA News, July 17, 2023, stated that these disappearances are happening at an alarming rate and they leave behind no evidence or trace of these people. If it was an animal attack, there would be traces of clothes, body parts, gear, even blood, etc., but there is absolutely nothing left behind. As these are trained professionals, there would be a body if an accident happened due to the terrain. With these large, dense forested areas and strange, unexplainable disappearances, communities of feral people really is the only thing that actually makes sense at this point. Lastly, I will go over why this is scary and how you could stay safe. With all the beauty and experiences that these parks hold, we don't want to stay away, but this is how and why we should be aware. What makes this so scary is that so many of these missing people are the ones who would most likely survive in this theorized situation. These cold cases cover a range of different people, but most of them are avid hikers who know how to stay safe and navigate nature, but somehow something happens to them. Many times, these missing persons are even traveling with groups of people, yet these groups of people can't even explain how the disappearances of someone who was with them happened. These parks are supposed to provide leisure and an escape, yet something shady is happening that no one could explain, even the professionals. Unfortunately, in our world, there's danger everywhere. So here are different ways you can ensure your safety in the U.S. national parks. To stay safe, first off is to make sure you have something to protect yourself and know how to use it. Secondly, the National Park Foundation, April 15, 2022, reminds us that it is always a great idea to travel and stay with a group of people at all times. And lastly, make sure you know where you're going and other people know where you're going and what your future plans are. Today, I told you about the secret dangers in national parks. I informed you through the history of these coal disappearances in national parks. Secondly, I explained why these disappearances are so strange and the main theory behind them. And lastly, I went over what you could do in order to stay safe and why the situation is so scary. Dennis Martin would be 94 today, but his remains were never found. His family had to live their entire lives not knowing what happened to their 6-year-old boy on that very strange day. With that, it is at the utmost importance to understand that there are things happening in these parks, and more in our power to keep ourselves and our loved ones safe when visiting these national parks. Thank you.